Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Eliali in this incarnation. I am here today to talk about the energies of this next week from today, September 15th to September 22nd. The most important event we have is the eclipse on September 17th or 18th, depending on where you are. And this is an energy that we are going to feel the whole week. Uh, Towards the equinox, I am going to talk about that at the end of the video. We are going to experiment the mixing of the energies of the lunar eclipse in Pisces and the next solar eclipse in Libra. So this is the passage where we have a lot of experiences, where there is an acceleration, cycles are closing, other ones are initiating. There is a lot happening, and many times these take time to process, but well, it is a moment where life redirect us where we need to go. So it is important to mention that. I'm going to go in order as always. Today, September 15th, we have a figure that is called Grand Trine because it is formed by all trines. It is a harmonic aspect, and this is created by Venus in Libra, Jupiter in Gemini, and the moon that is in Aquarius, that is going through in Aquarius right now. So it is a moment to cultivate this inner balance in our relationships too. It is a moment to enjoy, to connect with a healthy optimism, with the faith in the purposes, in the experiences. And also because it is a grand trine of air, it is a good moment to take distance from the situations, to look at them with more perspective, because the energy of Pisces is very, very emotional. So it is good to have this grand trine between the in between the process. So tomorrow, September 16th, we have the opposition between Venus in Libra and Chiron retrograde in Aries. This is part of the eclipse, and this configuration, because it is a tension, so many times could show through other experiences, through relationships, those wounds, that many times it is not about, with Chiron, it is not about wanting to heal everything. It is about many times coexisting with those wounds of rejection, insecurity, fears. Many times the way that Chiron in Aries is expressed is through reactivity, is through the irritability, the anger. So, it is important to take that in account, and that could be shown through the relationships. The thing with these oppositions with Chiron, it is about doing an integration to not project in the end. So, Mars in Cancer, the day of the eclipse, is going to perfect its square with the karma nodes Aries Libra. I talked about this in a previous video. So this is mainly about taking new opportunities, doing things that require courage, integrating new energy, going to the unknown by letting go of old patterns of codependency, seeking validation, putting ourselves aside to sustain relationships that are not evolutionary anymore, all these kind of things. But as Mars is in a sign of water, a very emotional sign, this could also show the discomfort through the emotions of the tendencies to repeat these old patterns of the South Node. This is something that I wanted to add, but I already talked about this, and this is part, of course, of the configuration of the eclipse. Also, other transit that is part of the eclipse is that on September 18th, we have the perfection of Mercury in Virgo doing an opposition with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So mainly this is about understanding, it has one aspect, the aspect of shadow, let's say, which is focusing too much in what is lacking, being in this excessive self-exigency, being too harsh on ourselves, or perceiving the reality in a more negative way. But the purpose of this transit is about establishing healthy boundaries, understanding that the blockages that we could feel or perceive, or the limitations, they are an invitation to redirect our energy to other places or to establish those boundaries. This is the function of the opposition. between Mercury, mental processes and conversations, exchange of information, and Saturn, which is the planet of structures and responsibility, spiritual maturity. Okay, on September 20th, we have the Sun in Virgo perfecting its opposition with Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And this is something that we are going to feel the whole week because this is the main transit, the main aspect of the eclipse. So this sensation of not seeing very clear, the sensation of not understanding the path very well could be very linked with oppositions between the Sun and Neptune. Also, we have to understand that the eclipses are moments where something is hidden to be revealed after. And the invitation of Neptune is listening to ourselves, listening to our inner voice, trusting in that guidance, inside divine guidance. So many times that's why we cannot see very clear through the path, because it is about trusting in ourselves. But confusion could be other aspect of this energy not being integrated. Well, it is. I'm going to talk about that later also. But on September 22nd, we have the Sun in Virgo perfecting its trine with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. This we can feel it from the 19th. So this is a harmonic aspect, and it could bring this impulse to regain back our power in certain situations, to understand what we need to transform, what we need to let go. The boundaries, again, Capricorn and Saturn are very linked with boundaries. The boundaries that we need to establish, and also these programmings that we have to change about the should-be's, impositions of society or the clan are very linked also with Pluto in Capricorn, making its final goodbye. But at the same time, we have this aspect of tension, which is Venus in Libra, making a square with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And this is perfected the same day on September 22nd. It is active from the 19th to, and these tensions, many times between Venus and Pluto are, Pluto is this planet that starts to bring to the consciousness what was unconscious, what was deep down inside, what was taboo, and it brings it back to light, so we can work with those things, so we can transform, so we can give death to certain aspects that are not working in ourselves anymore, or in our relationships, because Venus in Libra is participating. Then during these aspects, it is also important to pay attention to dynamics of manipulation, obsessions, attachments. These kind of things also happen when we are having these squares, these tensions between Venus and Pluto. It is a moment to give death to certain aspects, so we can make this rebirth. And this same day, we have the Libra equinox. The Sun in Libra is entering in the degree 0, so for the South Hemisphere is the equinox of spring, and for the North Hemisphere is autumn. This is a very energetical, strong point, because the Sun in Libra is precisely looking for this balance inside. And the people that we are in this spiritual path, we know that this is not a linear space. This is not something that we found and okay, I found a balance. This is a practice, a recognition of what we need in the present moment, of how to manage our emotions, how to manage our mind, and these kind of things. So I am going to talk about that later, but we are in this passage. The main thing is that we are in this passage between eclipses, so many things out of our control are happening. The practice is about acceptance and learning to respond in the best way we can. So thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.